How's it going, Blazers? We're going to bring you specifications you can relate to so you can have an educated decision on your purchases. Let me know your thoughts about the knife as well, and let's get into it. Now, thank you for QSP, quality, service, and price. Their knives, for providing this knife here for the pass around group, for the Apex pass around. So this is going to be the one that we're going to be looking at here. There's the Piglet. Before we get into that one, so the big news for the channel, for myself, and then just a really good experience. So Blade Show Atlanta, which is like the mecca of all knife shows, I'll be attending that. So the reason for that is QSP. So QSP invited me to work at their booth. So if you do want to come by and take a look at their knives, chat for a little bit, say hi, that's going to be at booth 2406. Now that's going to be on the adjacent hall, so not the large one, but then right across from that, it's going to be a little bit smaller one. So that's where we'll be at 2406. So come by and check that out if you would like to for that. And then also in regards to Atlanta, looking for some food recommendations because for trips, I normally look for the food places just because I like to. And then my wife might look for other things. But we also do have business cards available. So Apex Pass Around Group, a business card. So this is something that I did make up for the show. Because last time I went to Blade Show West, folks were asking if I had business cards, and I did not. And the sad thing is also for Blade Show Atlanta, even though I was media for Blade Show West, they had said that I do not meet the qualifications for Blade Show Atlanta. So we'll just go around and see if people want to talk for the time period that I do have. But otherwise, I will be at booth 2406. So check out their knives and then pick some up if you like them. And then I'll see you there. So going on to this knife here. So this is going to be the Piglet. So this is one here for that knife. So this one is 12C 28N. So that's going to be a fairly decent still for corrosion resistant side. So corrosion resistance about 56th percentile for it. For hardness about 48th percentile. And then looking at edge retention as far as all the different super steels and everything else, about the 24th percentile. And then this is going to be ideal situations. So if they got the heat treat correct on it, then that's going to be where you're going to get those results. So we are finding through some of the testing that some of the brands aren't getting the heat treat right. They might be running a super steel of M390 and then bringing it in at a really low hardness due to the heat treat for it. So think about that for that information. But this one also is available in kind of an interesting one with a Dama steel blade and also a Roffer. I don't know how you pronounce that, but I'll put in a picture on that one, but it's a really pretty blade on it. They do also have it for the Mamba for that different handle. So check those out if you do like them. They're available. I think the only US rep currently is going to be also through Amazon or through White Mountain Knives. So if you do want to pick that up from White Mountain Knives, you can get a 10% discount code for some of the channels. They have discount codes for that. So you can get an even better deal on below MSRP price for those. So comparison on these one for sizes, this is going to be the one that's pretty close to it as far as that Rat 2. And then you do have the little one here as far as the Squid. Then you have the P large, which is a large pilar right there. So it's in that size market for it. Just a little bit different as far as even that handle style for it. I don't really see many that have multicolors like that. So that's something that is kind of unique to them currently. So for this one, hand sizing also. So if you're gonna look at it, we'll start off with adult female hand, and then we'll roll into the other one, which is going to be adult male hand. And you might wonder as far as why it is that it's in that orientation, but it's basically so if you had the knife down and then you basically put your hand over it, so where is that going to sit for you? So trying to get a little bit closer to actually knowing what size it will be for you, where it's going to sit. So if you print out that chart in the description, it should be spot on for that, and you can take a look at it and see how that goes for you. This one is going to be about 3.5 ounces as far as what I got for it. And then pricing wise, which is important to folks, so $42.66 is the current price on White Mountain knives, MSRP of $52. And then so you can get that 10% off, $38.39, and then you still pay for a little bit of shipping. So basically it'd be like $41 for the knife. So save a little bit with a discount code. So you don't need to pay for, it's almost like getting free shipping in a sense for that. So if you made it to this part of the video, do consider subscribing to the channel. So now that helps to me to know going in the right direction. Throw a thumbs up on that as well. Do appreciate folks that actually watch through and actually enjoy the content with me as well. So this one, as far as opening, this one is going to be available for thumb stud opening for it. And then you do have middle finger, which is a little bit more difficult for it. I didn't even get it on that one. So we'll try again. One more time. Might have a strikeout. You kind of get the middle finger one, but it's a little bit more difficult for the cutout. Because it actually is a little bit different for that, where the actual alignment for it, you can't really get your finger in there. So that's going to be what you can have for that one, and also just a pinch and roll type of thing if you want to be a little bit more discreet in different situations. That's available for that. So again, 3.125 drop point, and then there's a flat grind for it as far as the blade primary. And then so this one, so behind edge thickness is kind of a new discussion. So it kind of goes on to slicing. Not paper. So if anybody says, well, it's a great slicer because the behind edge thickness is good and they compare it to a sheet of paper, well, that's not going to really make much difference. You take probably an axe and then sharpen it properly and then cut a piece of paper the same way you would with a really thin behind the edge knife. It's going to make more of a difference if you're cutting like thicker cardboard, things that don't really have that give when you actually cut it. So that's going to be where you're going to find the behind the edge thickness more important to you than otherwise. So about 5 sheets of paper. So if you get it from your printer, 5 sheets, that's how much it is behind the edge thickness for that. That's about 20 thousandths. So that's actually really quite good. It's kind of along the lines as far as a lot of other brands for it. So also something I didn't really see too much, but kind of the degree of ramp. It's something that I'm going to be talking about as well. So this one is going to be basically from the time period or the degree that you release the lock to when it's actually ramped onto the blade. That's going to be about 28 degrees for this. And so with kind of fidgeting with a few of the knives and kind of comparing, it seems like below 20% I would consider great. About 30% would be okay, and then 40% and up, they probably should have done a little bit different with it, at least in my opinion, for it. You can also see it as far as how it's going to be in your pocket. So I do have a picture of that up, and then also there's going to be only a right hand tip up, so that is kind of the downside to that. Also not a deep carry pocket clip, so that's going to be also a negative to a lot of folks as well. So that would be something good to add in as far as at least a right and left hand. I know it messes with the aesthetics on this side, but it would be good to have that other option for folks. So that's one thing that they might want to try and see if they can work that in. You'll add a little bit more time to it, but yeah, it might be good just to have a little bit better market, because carrying a right-handed knife in your left hand or left pocket isn't a good idea, because if it does open up, you're going to be running your hand right into that open blade, which isn't recommended. So that's going to be what you're going to have for that. So right hand tip up. So for this one, a lot of it is going to be pretty good overall as far as the knife goes. So that's where I would say for buy, borrow, or avoid. I would say buy or borrow. So it's not the one that I'd say just stop what you're doing, go get the knife. But if you like the design of it, everything speaks to you, the size works and everything, then check it out for that. So it'll be a buy or borrow. So that's kind of if the style is what you're looking at, and also if the pocket clip is one that you can kind of deal with, because some people just like the deep carry and they won't buy anything if it's not. So that's going to be the pocket clip. And also for lefties, it doesn't have that other side. I know there's a lot that gets kind of adjusted to for it though, but that's going to be how that works. So QSP, quality, service, and price. Their knives. So if you want to, check it out at Blade Show Atlanta, booth 2406. So come by, check it out. If you have any questions, I'll be there. And then, yeah, just stop by, say hi. So thanks again for your time. Let me know in the comments down below as far as what you think. And thank you very much.